The loudest person in the room is never the most dangerous one. There's someone in your life right now who smiles at you to your face, congratulates you, even, but the moment you turn around, they are working against you. Not because you did anything wrong, but because you succeeded. And that success became a mirror they couldn't stand to look at. Nietzsche had a word for what drives people like this. He called it ressentiment. Resentment so deep, so poisonous, that it disguises itself as friendship, as criticism, as concern, until it destroys everything it touches. Today, I'm going to show you the 7 things jealous people do when they can't compete with you, pulled straight from Nietzsche's philosophy. And by the end of this video, you will never be blindsided again. But I have to warn you, one of these signs is so subtle, so perfectly disguised as kindness, that most people completely miss it. That's number 4. Don't skip ahead. The context is everything. Before we get into the list, let's understand why Nietzsche even cared about jealousy. Nietzsche watched people his whole life. He was sick, largely alone, often rejected by academia. And what he discovered was this: the majority of human conflict is not about survival. It's about comparison. In his book on the genealogy of morality, he described how certain people, those who feel powerless, don't try to rise up. Instead, they try to pull down. They redefine success as evil. They call your ambition arrogance. They call your confidence pride. He called these people the herd. And he said the herd's greatest weapon is not strength, it's making you doubt yours. So let's expose them, one behavior at a time. Number 1. They minimize your wins. The first thing jealous people do when they can't compete with you is shrink what you've built. You launch a business and they say, "Oh, the market is just lucky right now." You get promoted and they say, "You know the right people, that's why." You lose weight and they say, "It won't last, these things never do." Nietzsche called this value inversion. When someone cannot reach your level, they don't climb, they redraw the ceiling so that your achievement no longer counts. It sounds like skepticism. It sounds like realism. But here is how you tell the difference: a true skeptic applies that logic to everyone. A jealous person only applies it to you. Notice that. Number 2. They become obsessed with your life. Here's something Nietzsche understood that most people don't: jealousy requires obsession. The person who cannot compete with you cannot look away from you. They know your posts before your friends do. They track your progress. They bring you up in conversations you weren't part of. Why? Because in Nietzsche's framework, ressentiment feeds on comparison. The jealous person has made you the measuring stick of their own worth. And now they're trapped. Every time you win, they lose. Every time you're mentioned, they feel it. This is actually a tragic condition. But don't let your sympathy become naivety. Their obsession is not innocent. It will eventually turn into sabotage. Number 3. They compete covertly. Jealous people never challenge you directly. That would require them to risk losing publicly. Instead, they compete in the shadows. They start a project suspiciously similar to yours right after you share your idea. They suddenly develop the same interests after you show yours, getting attention. They copy your style, your language, your positioning, and then convince themselves they had the idea first. Nietzsche described this as the psychology of the weak will, not weak in the physical sense, but in the sense of someone who wants the outcome without accepting the cost. They want your results. They don't want your discipline, your failures, your late nights. Just the applause. Number 4. They offer concern as a weapon. This is the one I warned you about. Pay close attention. Jealous people who cannot compete with you will often come to you with concern, genuine sounding, loving, even tender concern. They say things like, "I'm just worried about you. You're pushing yourself too hard." Or, "I love you, that's why I'm saying this, I think you're in over your head." Or, "People are talking. I don't want you to embarrass yourself. Nietzsche said this is the most sophisticated form of ressentiment, what he called the moralization of weakness. They cannot attack your success directly, so they attack the you behind the success. They frame your ambition as recklessness, your confidence as delusion, your momentum as danger. And here's the devastating part: if you love them, you'll listen. You'll slow down. You'll second guess. You'll lose months, sometimes years, to someone who told you they just wanted you to be okay. So how do you identify it? Ask yourself this: does their concern come with solutions, or just more doubt? A person who truly cares helps you move forward. A jealous person disguised as a caretaker just holds you in place. Number 5. They celebrate your setbacks. Nothing reveals a jealous person faster than how they respond when you fail. Not with cruelty, they're too careful for that. But watch for the micro-expressions. The relief hiding behind the sympathy. The subtle energy in the room when they say, "I heard things didn't go well." The way they bring it up again and again, long after you've already moved on. Nietzsche wrote that man must be surpassed. His entire philosophy was built around growth, struggle, and overcoming. And he observed that people who refuse that path, who choose comfort and comparison instead, develop a vested interest in your collapse. Your failure is their exhale. Knowing this doesn't make it less painful. But it does tell you exactly who you're dealing with. Number 6. They try to isolate you. Jealous people who can't compete with you will eventually try to manage your relationships. They'll subtly discredit the people who support you. They'll say things like, "I don't know if you should trust them," or, "They're not really in your corner, you know." And slowly, quietly, they'll position themselves as the only one who truly understands you, while cutting the ropes to everyone else. In Nietzsche's terms, this is the herd enforcing conformity. The herd cannot allow one of its members to have too many outside connections, too many perspectives, too much independence. Because that member might leave. Might rise. Might stop needing the herd's approval altogether. An isolated person is a controlled person. And a controlled person rarely outgrows their cage. Number 7. They rewrite history. The final thing jealous people do when they can't compete with you is become the historian of your story, and edit it. Suddenly, your success was their idea. Your breakthrough happened because of their help. Your character flaws, which they've catalogued carefully over the years, become their explanation for anything good that ever happened to you. And if they can get other people to accept this version, you don't just lose credit. You lose credibility. Nietzsche called this the slave revolt of values, the moment when those who cannot create begin to define. When those who cannot lead begin to narrate. The only counter to this is simple, but it demands everything from you: keep building. Keep producing. The truth is not in the stories someone tells about you, it's in the body of work that exists despite them. So let's bring this home. Nietzsche didn't write about jealousy to make you paranoid. He wrote about it to make you precise. To help you see clearly, who is genuinely in your corner, and who is just close enough to watch you fall. The goal is not to become bitter. The goal is to become unbothered. To build so consistently, so relentlessly, that the noise from the crowd, the minimizing, the false concern, the history rewriting, simply cannot reach the altitude you're flying at. He said it better than I ever could: the higher we soar, the smaller we appear to those who cannot fly. Let them stay on the ground. If this gave you clarity on someone in your life, drop a comment below, not to expose them, just to say, "I see it now." That clarity alone will change how you move. And if you want more Nietzsche applied to real life, not just lecture halls, subscribe and turn on notifications. The next video drops soon. I'll see you there.